Hello, it's Felicity here from Zendy Star Tarot, the place for emotional healing and gain wisdom from tarot to navigate your life. This is a June general tarot reading for the sign of Cancer. So now let's look at the general energy at play for you in June. And it feels like June is a month for transformation and getting rid of your fear. And whether you project the image that you are brave or not, and this month you are bound to be challenged, and the challenge is to help you to transform your emotions, transform your mental state of mind, and to live more or an authentic life. So no matter how others see you, after this transformation, you will be yourself. You get in touch of your soul, and you will be wiser as well. So, although there's some kind of fears, some kind of challenges that go in your life, and you have to understand that it's all for your own good in the future, because once you get rid of the fears and you face your fears and you know that what fears tell you about yourself and what fears tell you the lessons that you need to learn, you will become a leader of yourself. You will be very loyal to your own soul. You will lead an authentic life, and you will try and you understand how to distinguish between the deception of your own ego and the authenticity of your own soul. And then that's how you learn to be wiser. And it's about the liberation. You gain certain type of liberation as well. And so it's about getting rid of the old pattern of thinking, and also the old pattern of certain behavior that is no longer serving you good. Alright, so even though there may be some kind of struggles, there may be some kind of challenges, it's all about trying to help you see your own ego and then transform your ego and understand what your ego is trying to tell you, and understand what your soul is trying to tell you, and finally you are able to use ego wisely and not just listen to ego and putting you in a fearful state. Alright, and so it's a little bit about trying to be yourself, honor yourself, and be loyal to yourself. Be honest about yourself. Be the leader of yourself. And get rid of the lie that others are telling you, and get rid of the untruth that you tell others about yourself. Alright? And yes, so after this month, you will feel a sense of liberation. You will see that the fear is a bit silly. The fear is the ego that try to protect us, try to stop us from evolving. And then when it comes to the area of career, in this month, you may feel like, okay, the career is a bit stable. You will gain financial stability in your career. But then, what about your emotions? Are you losing touch with your emotions? And what about connecting with others? Are you losing connection, losing emotional touch with others? And so, maybe you will try to connect, to build a friendship with the people who are working for you or with you this month. But then some are ready to make an emotional connection with you, but some others are not so ready. They are protecting themselves. They are worrying about getting hurt. They may not trust their colleagues. They may not trust the boss. They may not trust the employers, the employees, all right? So try not to be upset by this, because everyone is at different stage of their life or their spiritual journey. So try not to force, and try not to be too sensitive about it. It's not about you. It's not, try not to take it too personally when people do not want to make a friendship with you, or when people do not want to make friends, when people do not want to build a connection with you. Try not to be so sensitive, and not to take it personally. It's just that some people are ready and some are not ready. And it's also about being content with yourself. And yes, it feels like you may wonder whether the job that is in front of you will bring you unlimited prosperity in the future. You worry about, okay, living day by day. Just some of you may feel that whether really the future is really bright or not in this career field. It feels like maybe, yes, right now you still have a little bit of income, you still have a little bit of advantage in this field. I'm sorry about my dog. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about my dog. And right now you feel you are making a living, but then you worry about the future, whether the job will still be in the future or not. So emotionally you may not feel secure, even though in a material sense there's still some kind of income, some kind of stability, but then you worry about the lack, you worry about whether it's enough or not. All right, so let me stop the camera and see my dog first. I'll get back to you later. And so in this month, try not to focus on the future and worry about future. And it's also good to, of course, have a little bit of savings. If you have this fear, if you fear about the stability of your career, and yes, when you have this fear, you worry about not having enough, and worry about whether your career, the job that you have, still will be in your future or not. If you worry about the income, or worry about the stability of this job, try to have a little bit of saving, and then polish your skills, and try to, because when you have talents, when you have certain skills, and you do not give up your skills and polishing your skills, and you will have more secure, you feel more secure on your emotional level. All right. And so even though in this month emotionally you will feel a bit worried, then you find a solution for yourself. And who knows, always after winter there will be spring, and in spring it's a new beginning. In spring the plants grow, right? So it's about the cycle, following the cycle. We have a cycle in nature, we have cycle in economy, right? So follow the cycle and not worry about too much, because one cycle and another cycle begins. It's always the love source, or God, or the higher power will always can help us survive in one way or another, so not to worry so much. And when it comes to how you connect with others on the emotional level in a social setting, it feels like you will get in touch with your inner child this month. Maybe you meet some people and then your inner child connects with their inner child. There's some kind of joy and some kind of party connecting with others going on. But then what you need to understand is that your fast forward thinking, maybe your opinions, maybe your behaviors, maybe your inner child expressed in your mature physical body will pose a question towards those who are senior. Alright, so it feels like this month maybe you feel that the senior, the people who have authority, or even the public, and trying to judge you. And they are not only judging you, they are judging the people that are closer to you. Alright, and also if you have make a connection, you have make a commitment in some kind of partnership, you feel that you are being judged as well. And maybe your lifestyle, maybe in certain area of your life, the senior and those authoritative figures may not agree with your own point of view, may not agree with certain area of your life. And it's because they are not used to that. They when the things that do not exist in their own period, their own peak period of their life, and they may not be able to connect with your own concerns, and they may not be able to understand your point of view. To them, to the senior, to the authoritative figure, maybe they feel that their own belief system has been challenged. Alright, and when people have their own belief system and they are very fixed on their own belief system, they are most likely to not be able to accept something new in their life. So open-mindedness is very important. And maybe you may feel like you need to choose. Maybe there are two opportunities that are presented to you, so you need to make a choice. And so you have to really connect with your inner child and see what your inner child is trying to tell you, and choose according to your own soul's whisperer. Alright, and so there's a little bit of party going on, there's a little bit of connection going on. Maybe you're building friendship, partnership with others. And so there is a sense of harmonious energy going on, but at the same time you feel like you're being judged, and at the same time you need to make a choice. And so now let's move on to the next point. And this card shows how you connect with others emotionally in the private life, in a private setting. Maybe your family members, maybe friends, or maybe your romantic partner. Again, the card shows fear. Alright, the card shows a little bit of fear. It feels like it's not just you fearful about something. It's about others also running away from their own shadow sides as well. And what you need to understand, that these shadow sides that we label as bad or evil, it's just the way that universe trying to tell you to face your fear, to deal with this fear, to bring solution to this fear, And also it's a universe way to tell you that this fear is illusion. This fear is just illusions. It's just because you have been programmed to think that this is bad, and our shadow sides are bad, and so when you grow in, when you are being brought up in this certain belief system, and when you grow into an adult, when you mature, this fear will be triggered, and then when the fear is triggered, and you will run away because you have been told to believe certain things. And when the belief system is being challenged, or when something that happened and you see it as the fear, and when you do not accept the shadow side, or you do not accept certain things, and of course we try to run away from it, and we try to talk ourselves into something that is not real. So sometimes it's logical, sometimes it's not rational. Fear is not about rational. For example, you fear about snake, you fear about maybe cockroach, but then not all snakes are poison, and cockroach, yes, they are not very clean. Maybe there's some kind of hygiene issues in a cockroach. Maybe there's some virus in cockroach, but then maybe this fear of a cockroach is just implanted to you. You are taught to feel fear about the cockroach. And if you bring a cockroach to a newborn baby, they may play with the cockroach, right? And so try to get in touch with your inner child, because your inner child has been programmed to believe certain things as bad, or to believe certain things, to fixate on certain belief system. And so when you are in adult form, when you become an adult, and your inner child still are fearful about something, and of course when your inner child is triggered, you will run, even though you are very rational. Sometimes you know that you're adult, you are rational, you have logic, and you have skills, you have ability, and even though you are able to protect yourself as an adult. But if everyone has an inner child, if your inner child has been hurt in the past, or if your inner child has been programmed to believe something that is not true, then when your inner child being triggered, you will run, even though you know you can protect yourself. Alright? And so try to not react and follow how others people are walking. Try not to react, or try not to follow others' path. You have to understand yourself. And just because everyone is running doesn't mean that you have to run. Alright? Just because the majority of people think that, okay, this is fearful, this is something that we should fear. Just because of that doesn't mean that you have to run, you have to follow that direction. Alright? So understand yourself, and not to follow the fear that other people, or not to follow the pattern, the fearful patterns that other people are fearful. They have to learn their own lessons. Alright? So try to understand your shadow side, and know what is real and what is not real, and what is illusion, and what is the things that are presented to you in order for you to learn. And when you break out of the illusion, you are actually free. I hope you enjoyed this reading. For personal reading, click the link in the description box below. Thank you. Bye. See you next month.